for it. With me now is NewsNation contributor, former Trump White House press secretary and Navy veteran Sean Spicer, and Naveed Shah, an Army veteran and political director of the grassroots veterans group Common Defense. Welcome to you both, and thank you both for your service. It's such an honor to have you both here. Naveed, let's start with you. Are you pro or against military parades, and this one in particular?
Well, thanks so much for having me. And first of all, I'm completely against this parade. This doesn't need to happen. This is not patriotic. This is more so just a vanity project for the president on his birthday.
Sean, I assume you disagree.
Yeah, totally. Look, these anniversaries obviously don't come around very often. This is the 200th anniversary of the Army. In all due respect, it's also the 200th anniversary of the Navy and the Marine Corps, just so we can get a little in on the action. But we're going to do a lot more up in Philadelphia later this year. That being said, I think there's a great opportunity to stop and reflect on the service and sacrifice of so many individuals. The Army in particular has lost over 1 million Americans that have sacrificed for the freedoms that we enjoy today. And I think on this particularly historic period in our country, next year we'll talk about the country as a whole. But at a time when so many people are disconnected from military service, including, our own Congress, you've got the lowest level of veterans serving in Congress. It is a reminder to stop and pause what a great volunteer service we have in this country. So I'm hugely in favor of it. Unfortunately, I think there's too much reflexiveness because the president, the commander, and the chief is Donald Trump. But I think it's a great honor that he's bestowing on the Army. I hope later this year in Philadelphia he comes up and pays the same tribute to the Navy and the Marine Corps as we pay tribute to 250 years of service as well. But this is the time when we need more people in America understanding the service and sacrifice that military members and their families make on behalf of the freedoms that we enjoy.
Yeah, Naveed, I mean, recruitment is up for the first time in a really long time. Is that not tied to things like this, a sense that the administration and the country once again feels proud of the armed forces?
What the military needs right now, more than anything, what troops need right now are barracks that don't have mold in them. What they need right now is food on bases. When we know that military families are facing food insecurity, it seems really uncouth to spend millions of dollars on a parade just for this president to have a little party in his backyard. There's lots of ways to honor the troops. This just isn't one of them.
So, Sean, on this question,
Bajia, can I just to be clear on this, both of the services spend millions and millions of dollars each year on marketing and recruiting. So if we want to get to, money spent, they spend it every year trying to encourage people to get into the armed forces and to stay in the armed forces. And the opportunity, again, we're not doing this on a yearly basis. I don't know that we've ever done this. So the opportunity on the 200th anniversary of the Army in particular and the 250th anniversary of the Navy and the Marine Corps to stop and pause, to highlight our military prowess, both here domestically and as a showcase around the world, is a great opportunity. We're not doing this every Saturday like a car show down at the high school parking lot. This is on the 250th anniversary of these services coming into being. So I think it's a great opportunity to do this, and I wish people would just stop reflexively not doing it because of who the current president is.
I think it's less about who the current president is and more about this moment. The military serves a function, and we don't normally have parades in this country because we honor the troops who serve and we honor everything that they do. But we don't put on this kind of fanfare for them. The last time a parade like this was held was after World War II. I think that was the right time to do it. Right now, what are we celebrating exactly? The fact that recruitment is up, that's great.
Hold on, time out.
As an Army veteran, I'm really proud of the Army's birthday. I want to celebrate it. I also want to make sure the troops are taken care of. And when I'm hearing from the troops right now, the members of my organization, is that they're living in moldy barracks and they don't have enough food on the base. Let's take care of those issues instead of having a defense chief who wants to run around and do PT with the troops instead of actually taking care of them. Let's make sure we're taking care of those folks, and we can have plenty of time for parades later.
Sean.
Yeah, respectfully, I would say this SecDef can do PT with the troops. That's a pretty big feat. So, look, you can do two things at once. As I said, the military, all the branches, spend a lot of money recruiting and retaining service members. So this is not whatever. As I said, secondly, let's keep in mind this is the 250th anniversary of the Army in particular. This doesn't happen every year, every other year, every 100th year. This is the first, this is the 250th anniversary. And we can do both things at once. We can take care of the conditions in which service members live, whether it's on a ship or on a barrack, in a barracks, but we can do both things at once. This is not an either-or opportunity. And let's just celebrate the service and sacrifice of all of the service members that have made over the 250 years of our country to give us the freedom that we enjoy and to be the world's greatest superpower.
Thank you both so much for joining us. That was a great debate, and we